Good to see you again. John Zivos here with my next installment of my tutorials. I'm just going to expand a little bit on the pentatonic scale that we talked about last time. So I'm kind of calling this pentatonic scale not just for blues. So we talked about it in a blues context last time, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, and I want to just clarify a couple of things on that, or just expand on that a little bit. So we were using this shape last time, and I said there's many shapes, and I'll get into those in another video. I just want to kind of go about how to use it right now. But the shape we were using is in any position: 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. So we're using that as our basis. We will expand on that. So I said there was a pentatonic major scale based on scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 from the major scale, and a pentatonic minor scale, which is scale degrees 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. And I said in this shape, the root or tonic note for the major key is the pinky note here. So this is an A note. That's A major pentatonic. And the minor tonic note is same scale in the first. So this is also, besides being A major pentatonic, it's F sharp minor pentatonic. Now some people just use the root. Like, I was reading something online today, and I just don't think it's a good way to think. But they were saying that for a song that had a chord progression that was all in A major, that you could use the F sharp minor pentatonic, which it's the same as the A major pentatonic, yes. But I think you should be thinking of it as two different things, because the A is the most important note when you're in the key of A major, and the F sharp is the most important note, the tonic note, when you're in the key of F sharp minor. Some people's ears will just naturally do that, but some people might not, and so I think it's good to think of it in how you're using it. So in A major, you can use the A major pentatonic. So you can use any major pentatonic scale in any song that's in a major key with the same tonic note. That's always going to work. Also, same thing for minor. You can use the minor pentatonic scale for any chord progression that's in the key with the same tonic note. So in other words, if I'm playing this fifth position scale and I'm thinking minor, it's A minor. Also works for C major stuff. So major always works with major, minor always works with minor. Now the thing about the blues, if it's a 1-4-5 progression, which is what we did last time, you can use either one. You're just going to get a different effect, and you can hear that on the last video. But only then, that's when you use it. Like, you can't, if I try using a minor pentatonic in a real A major, something that's more than a 1-4-5, it's not going to sound right. It'll sound okay sometimes, but it's not going to sound right. So let's talk about briefly the 1-4-5. That's what I have on the whiteboard here. Now, when we're talking scale degrees before, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, those are regular Arabic numbers. You know, they just look like a 1, 2, like you usually see. But when you're talking chord progressions, you're talking Roman numerals, okay? So a 1-4-5 progression in a major key, all the chords are major, so they're all uppercase Roman numerals. So this chart has the key in this column, what the 1 chord is, it'll always be the same as the key, what the 4 chord is, and what the 5 chord is. Now, I believe you should know your 1-4-5s in every key, But you got to start somewhere. So I would start with these 5 keys. If you're a guitar player, they're the big guitar playing keys. Now, I said earlier that we did 1-4-5 blues last time, and we did. Now, I also want to say that a lot of rock tunes are based on 1-4-5 songs. Okay, all the early rock stuff, you know, Carl Perkins, Blue Suede Shoes, Elvis tunes, Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry, I don't think I've ever heard anything that's not a 1-4-5 or a 1-4 or a 1-5, and that'll be fine too. This works if it's just two of the 3 chords. If the whole song is just a 1 and a 5, you can do the same thing. You can play either scale. The minor will sound bluesy. The major pentatonic will sound more melodic. So that's just an important thing to know. Now, what I want to talk about a bit more today is songs that aren't 1-4-5 blues or rock tunes. Yeah, there's other rock bands too that do a lot of 1-4-5 things too. Like you think like ZZ Top or AC/DC. There's tons of songs that are rock tunes based on 1-4-5s. But there's a lot of other songs out there too. So I'm going to put that chord progression back on that I was playing when this video started. And this is a chord progression in A major. And I'm going to play the A major pentatonic here in 2nd position. Alright, here we go. That all works just fine. Let me just play the minor pentatonic against that so you can hear how it's not as good. I actually can't do that for too long because it bothers me so much. But anyway, you can hear how it's, and that's a common thing I see with a lot of my students who just think that the root, no matter what, is in the first finger for that pentatonic shape, for A major or A minor. But only if it's a 1-4-5 can it be either. Remember that. Alright, so I also said minor works well with minor. So I'm going to go to a minor progression in the saddest of all keys, D minor. So if you know your neck, you know that on the low E, the D note is on the 10th fret. So if I play that shape we've been playing for D minor, it should work fine in this progression. So let's check it out. Okay, so that was all D minor, and I went up just a little bit out of my scale shape because I want to show you this today too. At the end of this shape, if you go up to put your first finger where your pinky was on the second string, you can play first finger, third, first, third. And it's really no different notes, and we're only adding just this G note because these three notes are in the shape we were playing, but just going up there, you might get some other ideas out of that. And then you can slide back. Okay, now I just want to do one more, just kind of to review of last time. This is going to be a Boogie Woogie in E, and it's a 1-4-5. So I'm going to play major pentatonics and minor pentatonics. E major pentatonic, 9th position. The E is the 12th fret, pinky note. E minor, 12th position, first finger on the E. All right, here we go. So, at first I was switching back and forth between the minor and major, and then I stuck on the major for a while, so you can hear that tonality. Then I went to the minor for a while, and I added those two notes again, or that one note, but then I added another one, 2 frets up on the E string. You may have noticed that. So, very useful in blues and rock and roll, but also in other types of music. Remember, for pentatonic scales, major always works in the major key, minor always works in the minor key, and either one can work in a 1-4-5. Oh, I should mention just briefly, if you don't read music and you don't know really what key you're in when you're jamming along with something, people ask me a lot of times, isn't it the first chord? Isn't that the key? Well, it could be. Maybe 75% of the time it's that. But a better thing is the last chord. If when you play the last chord of a song and the song sounds finished, that's what key it's in. If it doesn't sound finished, if it leaves you hanging, that's not the key. But most of the time, you get a chord at the end that makes the song sound done. That's your key. All right. Remember, if you have any questions, johnzivos@outlook.com. Shoot me an email anytime, and I hope you got something out of this. Thanks.